Good evening, everybody. James Brierton from the Carolina Weather Group coming to you live from Charlotte, North Carolina. This is not going to be a highly produced show. Those return Wednesday night. This is just a let's hang out and look at the radar together. And most importantly, you let me know what you're seeing and I'll let you know what I'm seeing, because we could break the snow drought. The snow drought that has persisted in places like Charlotte, North Carolina, where I am, for over 1,000 days. That's how long it's been since it snowed. And if you take a look right now on your screen, we can see snow is falling in portions of the western North Carolina foothills. Sure, snow falls in the western North Carolina mountains. We've seen it already this season, but it's been a long time since it's come south of I-40. It's been a long time since it's come anywhere near Charlotte or even Greensboro. So right now you can see we have on radar, asterisk there, I'll come back to it in a minute, what looks like the depiction of snow. But more importantly, let me point out the contribution that you all, as citizen scientists, are playing tonight in submitting M-Ping reports. It's M as in Mary and Ping as in P-I-N-G. Because these are what you at home are seeing on the ground. And that's important because, I'll give you a great example. I'm down here on the southeast side of Charlotte, near Matthews. The radar says it's snowing right now. I guarantee you that if I go outside, it's not snowing right now, because what the radar is seeing is way up in the sky. So from upstate South Carolina, Greenville, Spartanburg, where the radar is located, by the time we get to Hickory, that radar beam is 4,500 feet in the air. So it's snowing at 4,500 feet in the air, but is the snow reaching the ground? Or is it drying up? Is it evaporating? Is it melting? Whatever it may be doing. So we can tell you right now that all you at home are telling us just north of Hickory, in places like St. Stephen's, Granite Falls, North Lakes, I believe this is Hudson, it's snowing. Lenore, it's snowing. For a lot of folks, I imagine, that's a welcome sight. It's probably at least a welcome sight if you're a weather nerd watching this live stream with me submitting M-Ping reports. Let's go over towards the Triad, because maybe you're staying up late tonight, waiting to see if any of these flakes will reach the ground in Greensboro. I don't know about Greensboro just yet, but Yadkinville, outside of Winston-Salem, we're going to be taking a look at some cameras, live cameras we've got access to from Resort Cams and WeatherStem coming up here in a few minutes. And as you're watching along, please live chat with me right now. Again, I want this to be a conversation. Let me know where you are and what you are seeing, and we'll just have some fun here tonight. How long will this live stream go for? Well, it depends. It depends how long I can sit out here in my very cold garage. This is my garage set. Depends how long my baby sleeps for. It depends whether or not I think I'm going to get any snow. But if you'd like to join the conversation, I invite you to do so right now. We're live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the places where everyone is hanging out. So I hope you will join me here. Matter of fact, I think I've just hit go live on Instagram. So we welcome in all of those joining us right now on the Carolina Weather Group Instagram page. We are tracking snow in the Carolinas. Whether or not we will break that snow drought here in Charlotte and elsewhere, we'll see. Many places have not seen snow in over 1,000 days. So I think that takes us back to January of 2022, if I'm not mistaken, when we had a miraculous 3 snow weekends in a row. But right now, we are seeing both on radar and from M-Ping reports, those are reports that you're able to submit on apps like Radar Scope, that we have snow falling right now in Yadkinville. We have snow falling just to the northwest of Winston-Salem, just to the north of Walkertown, just outside of Pilot Mountain, and even down towards Reedsville. Now, we saw some of you being sneaky, some of you getting our hopes up and submitting false M-Ping reports. Yeah, I guess that's just going to kind of be the name of the game. Can't always believe what you see on the internet, but we know our friend Tim Buckley, chief meteorologist at WFNY in Greensboro, calling at least one of you out earlier today when that M-Ping report showed up a little bit too early. But hey, let's take a look at numbers, because we can see now in the foothills of western North Carolina, as I switch the radar back over to Greenville, Spartanburg from where it was in Blacksburg, Virginia, that just coming now into Hickory, just north of Hickory, North Lakes, Granite Falls, St. Stephen's, Bethlehem, Hudson. Some of you are reporting actual human beings on the ground are reporting snow is falling. We just, in real time, got a snow report to show up right here outside of Conover. This is going to be the first MPing report we've seen here tonight south of I-40. So if you're between Conover and Claremont, just on the east side of Hickory, we are now getting reports of snowflakes that are falling. So how much snow can we really anticipate tonight? Well, folks, it's pretty minor. Matter of fact, if it was a regular winter, we probably wouldn't even be talking a whole lot about this, but it's the fact that it hasn't snowed in over 1,000 days that has so many of us excited that it might just snow for a moment or two. A lot of it will fall during the overnight hours from now through about sunrise. And what can you expect when you wake up in the morning if you're not going to stay up all night? And I don't know that I can necessarily blame you if you're not going to stay up all night. Well, here's the official forecast from our friends at the National Weather Service, just to kind of, set your expectations. Their official forecast calls for less than an inch of snow in Charlotte, Statesville, North Wilkesboro, and Lexington. Sure, if you're along the mountain ranges, say between North Carolina and Tennessee, you've maybe already seen some snow falling. We could see maybe a coating on the ground if it's cold enough, if it's wet enough to reach the ground, if the snow doesn't dry up, if the snow doesn't evaporate before it reaches the ground. We have a 1 in 10 shot of seeing snow maybe in other places. Let's see if I pull up their forecast here. Does my screen share follow? It does not. That's okay. That's okay. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. We've got a 1 in 10 shot of seeing snow in some other places like Shelby and Marion and Asheville, maybe even down towards Chester or Lancaster County in South Carolina. But again, that's a 1 in 10 shot of maybe seeing a coating if maybe the flakes stick around. I know that's a lot of maybes. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm just trying to set your realistic expectations. And honestly, again, we're just here to have fun. So if you're seeing some snowflakes falling, if you're excited to see some snowflakes falling, let us know if you're seeing it. Let us know if you don't want to see it. I'd actually be kind of curious to hear that take, because I just assume that people who are watching us on our weather live stream tonight are excited for snow. I know we had a wonderful time 2 years ago when it finally snowed, right? We had a winter in, I think, again, January 2022, if memory serves, where it snowed 3 weekends in a row here in Charlotte, where I am. And it was a lot of fun standing with you guys out here 3 weekends in a row to see whether or not that snow was reaching the ground. And it did. And we know a lot of you watched along, and I don't know how many chances we will get this winter to track snowfall like this. I kind of hope this isn't the only one, because frankly, again, this is kind of a very low impact storm. But in case it's the only one we get this winter, I didn't want to not hop on and hang out with you guys. Let's go to Hickory, shall we? We've got a resort cam there. Resort cam at the App State campus in Hickory. Not App State in Boone, but App State, the campus in Hickory. And let's see what is or is not reaching the ground. Because that is going to be the best way to tell tonight, is eyes on the ground. Camera eyes, your eyes, whatever it takes. So, guys, we might have something there. Take a look just above my head on the live stream. Look at that street light. Okay, look at that street light. There's definitely something falling from the sky. And I think it is snow, because I feel like rain will be moving faster than that. I know that's not super scientific, right? But snow has more of a weight and a buoyancy to it, and it kind of just does look like it's drifting down a little bit. I do see what seems to be flying towards the camera, but I will tell you from having done streams like this before that those objects that are kind of floating towards the camera could be snowflakes, but they're probably more likely like little bugs that are just being picked up by the night vision on the camera. So I wouldn't get too overly excited about that. But we should keep an eye on whether or not that parking lot continues to get any more covered in the white stuff, because it looks like that asphalt could have a little coating of snow on it. But I think our best bet is that street light. So we'll keep an eye on that. You can send us pictures on Instagram. You can tag us. You can tag us on Twitter. I will be keeping an eye on those as well as we go on through the night, because again, it's going to be cameras. It's going to be people like you on the ground that tell us whether or not it's happening. It's going to be people like you that tell us whether or not the people downstream should stay up and be excited. We'll see. We shall see. I do want to send a quick message on our Twitter to let people know that we are live over here on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, so they can come join the conversation if they would like to do that. Matter of fact, we actually we issued a poll earlier. I don't know that it's been published yet because I think it's still live, but I can see the results of the poll. And we asked you guys if you'd be staying up, and not a lot of you, not a majority of you said you'd be staying up, but I think enough of you are staying up that we figured we should hop on for the 42% of you that are here and hanging out. So I'm playing around with vertical streaming tonight and still trying to get a handle on it. We've got a report that the snow is, and I believe this is the scientific word for it, spitting in Cherokee County, North Carolina. I concur with the word spitting, because I do think that is more or less the expectations of what we could see here tonight. Again, if you're heading to bed right now, when you wake up in the morning, in some of these places, you might wake up to see a little dusting on the ground. We've seen at least one school district that's delaying for tomorrow. I'll pull it up here in a second. So the school district, and I know we had on our Twitter account earlier, and this was kind of like the first impact that I saw. So this is the Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools in North Carolina. We'll be on a 2-hour delay tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning, December 3rd. All students and staff should report to school 2 hours later than normal. So that, is a little bit of an expectation of maybe what you could expect. So let me show you why they may have decided to do that. I can't say we've seen a whole lot of that. Again, because kind of a novelty snow, if that's such a thing. In that a couple flakes might fall from the sky, and it's, again, maybe gonna leave a little bit of a coating, but I don't think it's gonna be enough to cause any transportation problems. So this is our HRRR model run. Our rapid refresh, high quality. It's kind of our best indicator of what we can expect in the next few hours. Now, it is that time of year where I need to switch it to precipitation type. So we're not just looking at moisture in the air, we're specifically looking at frozen moisture in the air. And if I zoom it out a little bit, I might have a better chance of seeing North Carolina. When they drew the states, they didn't anticipate vertical streaming, but I think that'll be okay. So you can see right now in about real time, we do have a kind of a blob. It's in that like I-40 Hickory to I-77 north of Statesville corridor coming through like Pilot Mountain, right? And then you'll notice as we go 2-3 hours from now, so this is like 1 o'clock in the morning, that blob continues along I-40 kind of to the south and the east. That's why Winston-Salem, Wake Forest, Greensboro could get a little bit of something. But you'll also notice it tries to get into Charlotte, especially Charlotte to the east. So as you make your way towards, Asheboro, as you make your way towards Hamlet, you could see some of this snow trying to work its way across central North Carolina. Okay, there it is again. There it comes again. South Carolina, this thing really kind of dies out at the state lines. And again, to set expectations on snowfall accumulations, this particular model run is giving me 0.2 inches of snow in Charlotte. I'm going to call the upper end of the possibilities because I just don't really think it's going to snow that much. But hey, we do know that it's snowing in some places right now because you're letting us know and we've seen it on the camera. So let's go back out to that App State Hickory campus camera powered by Resort Cams because it's snowing there. It's snowing in Hickory. So if you're in Hickory or near Hickory, I do think it is snowing. How big can I make that street light on the screen? Let's see. Yeah, not all that big. But again, I do think that is snow that is falling in Hickory, North Carolina right now, guys. So, remember, we have had a snow drought in so much of the Carolinas. Like where I am in Charlotte, it hasn't snowed for over 1,000 days, which is abnormal. And so if we get a trace of snow, it coats the ground, less than 1/10 of an inch, but it's more than nothing, that would break the snow drought. And I gotta tell you, and this might be controversial, but if we're gonna break the snow drought, I kind of want it to be good. Like, I'm rooting for snow tonight because it's fun and that's why you're here and we're hanging out. But hypothetically, if we break the snow drought tonight and we reset the clock from 1,037 days back down to 0 days, and then we go another 500 days until it snows again, that kind of breaks the number in two. It would be so much more impactful to be like, it's been 2,000 days since it snowed. So to get a trace in the middle of it just to reset the clock feels anticlimactic. I guess if you're a snow lover, you're hoping for some snowflakes tonight and then some snowflakes again later in the season. And my whole point is that would be great. If you have an app like Radar Scope, you're able to submit what's called an MPing report. This is a citizen scientist tool for backyard weather reporting. And we love it because when we look at radar, and this is live radar right above my head here, and this is radar that is being detected from Greenville, Spartanburg, we can see that it looks like it's snowing in the foothills, okay? So that is all of the blue that you're seeing on radar. But the thing with radar is it's shooting a beam up into the atmosphere. So even if I'm asking the radar to give me its lowest impression of what's happening in the atmosphere, that radar, which is coming out of Greenville, Spartanburg, South Carolina, and going to the north and east in this case, even at the lowest blue blob, very scientific term, that beam is 3,000 feet in the air. So really what it's saying is it's snowing at 3,000 feet in the air. In Hickory, it's snowing at over 4,000 feet in the air. And that number very quickly starts to climb to 5,000 feet by the time we get to some of the closest MPing reports. And that's the significance is the radar is seeing what it perceives to be snow at 5,000 feet, but you on the ground are sending these MPing reports. And you're telling us, yeah, man, where I am here on the ground, it is in fact snowing. So if you're watching the stream right now and you are seeing what looks to be snow in Union County, in Anson County, in Southern Mecklenburg County, maybe in York or in Lancaster County, it's probably not snowing where the humans are. It may be snowing up above. Now, whoa, hold the phone. We just got an MPing report in Gaston County. Is someone pulling my leg? Because again, anyone can submit these. I have no way to prove whether or not that is actually happening or not. That would be very interesting. That would be very interesting if it is in fact snowing in Gaston County. Why don't we have any MPing reports in Lincoln County? Because everyone's asleep. I don't know. Let's go back over to the Triad. We'll come back. We'll come back to the foothills in a minute. So now for the Triad, our closest radar is Blacksburg, Virginia. And we do kind of have this nice little line from Elkin to Yadkinville, Winston-Salem, Stokesdale, Reedsville. We still don't have anything in Greensboro. Winston-Salem, we kind of do, especially on the north side of Winston-Salem. You know, I feel confident when the radar plus the M pings are telling us the same thing. That feels pretty good to me. I think that probably makes sense to you too. Our friends at WeatherStem, they are fabulous people. They've got these weather stations that not only have cameras, but again, they're weather stations. So they take observations. So we can not only see a picture, but I can also tell you right where that picture is being recorded, transmitted, what the actual weather is. And so they do have units. I'm getting logged in. They do have units that are in that area of Winston-Salem. And assuming I'm smart enough at this hour to remember what my password is to log in to access these cameras, I'd be more than delighted to share them with you. Because right now, for instance, Winston-Salem State University is at 32 degrees. Humidity of 51%. Not currently detecting any precipitation there? Well, I don't know, maybe. Let's check over to our Instagram channel. Some of you watching with us on Instagram tonight, let us know what you think. We haven't done a whole lot of streaming on Instagram. So that's a fun little tool that is at our disposal now. I may have to, in just a moment, walk just off camera because, as I mentioned at the start of our stream, I am in my garage. That is where I do some of these streams sometimes. And it's quite cold in here. I've got 34 degrees on my weather station just outside the garage, on the roof actually, 34 degrees. And the Tempest weather station from Weatherflow is telling me that snow is nearby. So it's using AI to kind of look at weather conditions and discern that snow might be possible. Let's see here. I'm going to check our Twitter mentions. We are at Carolina WX Group on Twitter. You guys are seeing anything there? You can certainly let us know. I mentioned him earlier in our stream. Tim Buckley is the chief meteorologist at WFMY Television in Greensboro. And he has tweeted out this video that a viewer sent him. Snow there, just north of Winston-Salem, from Hayden Young. Again, this is Tim Buckley, WFMY. He's a good follow for you. Sharing some of your videos tonight. And again, I'm also trying to wrap my head around whether or not it's actually snowing in Dallas, North Carolina. I also want to give a shout out to whoever this is, an Indian Trail. M-ping, none. Zeros are worth something. This person is telling us the radar says it's snowing, it's not snowing. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Good to know what we can and cannot believe. Actually checking to see if any of my work friends at WCNC posted anything, because Dallas, North Carolina is home to the transmitters for the TV stations. And there's a camera there on the transmitter. I don't have access to where I'm sitting right now. But I would love to know if, in fact, anything was falling there. Don't know yet. But we do know that the snow is falling in the Gamewell area. Here, take a look at this new video we got in on Twitter. Hayden Michael, wasn't the last guy's name also Hayden? You can see some flakes falling there on the screen. I think this is a pretty good expectation of what you could expect. Like if you stay up to 3 o'clock in the morning because you want to see snow, this might be what you get. It's something. It's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. Let's put radar back on the screen for you. And again, it feels like it hasn't moved much since we started the stream half an hour ago, because it hasn't. It's moving quite slowly. It's a relatively weak weather system, but it brings a lot of joy and excitement. And I think that's what's most important. I think that's what's most important right now. We've got a live chat. We'd love to know how long you're staying up, if you will be staying up, if you're excited for snow this year, or if you just kind of want it to go away. I know a lot of people who move here from the north who are just done with snow. They'd be happy probably if they never saw snow again. But to me, I'm one of those people who moved from the north. There's a certain feeling in winter, like it should be cold, should be snow. Shoveling stinks and I don't want a ton of it, but I'm always a subscriber to, can I get one really good snowfall every year? You know, one really good one. And again, brings me back to my earlier point. This isn't the really good one. So how do I get the really good one? That's what I want to know. That is indeed what I would like to know. The thing with snow in the Carolinas, and this is an example of a system that wouldn't make a lot of snow, is we need the cold air to come in, and then we need the precipitation to come in. And when it comes over the mountains, it doesn't really work all that well. It's when it comes off like I-85. Systems are moving that way. Works a little bit better for us, but man, how many of you have been here and kind of just know that Interstate 85 is like the magic dividing line between where it snows and where it doesn't snow? I really do kind of want to get like a grad student or somebody to do research on it. I don't think it has anything to do with like urban heat islands or anything, because I don't think it has anything to do with the actual physical interstate so much as maybe where the interstate is built. Like they built it the base of the foothills. I'm over-exaggerating that slightly, but like, I think that would make more sense as to why 85 is sometimes the dividing line. Hey, Cat's Weather on YouTube. It's a mess of low and it's cut off in the main flow, so yeah, it's gonna move slow. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Slower the better, I guess. Yeah, it could be slower the better. Like especially if you wanted to kind of park in one spot or move slowly in one spot and actually accumulate. That's a good point. That's a good point. I feel bad for anybody who's going to sleep right now and hoping to wake up to a winter wonderland. It's not gonna happen. I'm sorry, kids. You will have school tomorrow. Again, as a New Yorker, I went to bed many times hoping to wake up in the morning to a winter wonderland, only to wake up to a non-winter wonderland. That's a bad feeling. That's a bad feeling of like, oh, I thought, okay, guess I should have done my homework. Okay, I got my WeatherStem account reset. So that means I have access to more cameras. So, for example, Greensboro, where we don't have any snow reports just yet, we do have the clouds. We have a cloud deck. So, like, I can show you. This is UNC Greensboro, live via WeatherStem. Get my face out of there. Okay, ignore my name. And you can see that if snow were to move in, this is well lit enough that hopefully we would be able to see potential snow. But again, I think the camera that has given us the most hope, the best truth, the best reality is the resort cam in Hickory. Not for any difference in cameras or provider, but just simply based on where it's placed. So when we look right now in Hickory, I would say that parking lot has a little dusting on it. And if you look right there at that street light, I do think snow is falling. I do think snow is falling. We also have access to information that comes to us from not only you at home, but lots of great folks who contribute to official storm and weather reports by reporting into the National Weather Service. And so just north of Hickory is Alexander County, and it's snowing there. Again, if I go back over to radar, you can see that north of Hickory it's snowing, and as we were just talking about in the YouTube comments, it's been slow moving, so it's been snowing north of Hickory even longer than it's been snowing in Hickory. Right? So Taylorsville, like, that's pretty solidly blue on the radar. And so we did just get this video in that I was hoping it would play. Let's see, can we play this video? Guys, look at that. I mean, that is snow. It is falling from the sky at a steady rate, and it is coating on the ground. It is not just evaporating when it hits the ground. It is coating there on the grassy surface. Notice it's on the grassy surface, right? And so it's lit up. This is a great video because clearly it's also bouncing off like a floodlight or something. So this is video that was just shared from Chris Brown. He's with the Central Alexander Fire Department. That's in Taylorsville, North Carolina. And he says that he has had snow flurries at his house just outside of Taylorsville since a little after 10 p.m. So what you see here is snow that has been falling for more than an hour, coming up on 2 hours. And again, not like a significant amount of accumulation. You're not going to go sleigh riding. You're probably not making a snowball and that, but that is snow, and it is falling from the sky, and it is sticking. So I would like to send my congratulations to all of our snow lovers in Alexander County because you have broken your snow drought. That is snow. So thanks to Chris for sharing that video. That is what I think a lot of you are hoping to see. And by watching the stream tonight, you're probably trying to decide, like me, how long you're going to stay up for to find out whether or not it's actually going to happen. Find out. We'll find out here shortly, but there is living proof that it can happen because we can see it there. Let's play it again. There it is. The snow falling in Taylorsville, North Carolina, late on this Monday night. I do think there is something very calming about just watching those flakes fall down to the ground. Down to the ground. Especially when you've got Christmas lights up. That helps. That helps set a mood. That helps set a mood for sure. All right, let's go back out to radar and check in with chat as well too. Michael says the video is not playing on his feed. Were you guys not able to see that video? Was I just narrating video that I swear to you it was playing? It was playing on my screen. I don't want to sound like I've never done a live stream before. I have, and it played on my screen, and my face was in the corner, and I saw it. I swear, I almost want to take a picture, but here's what I'm going to do. There's two different ways that we can play video, and I'm going to upload it to the cloud and play it out that way then rather than try to play it off my computer. I'm embarrassed on behalf of my computer. And also, again, reminding me not to believe everything I see because I definitely saw that working. I definitely saw that working. It's uploading right now, and I don't know that I can click away from the screen while it's uploading. It's at 60%. So again, we'll show this video too. I promise you it's worth the wait. I don't know if my narration of it was worth anything while I thought I was playing it for you, but we'll see. So technically Charlotte, I'm just looking at the National Weather Service chat here, meteorologists nerding out with each other. Technically Charlotte is at 1,037 days. This is the conversation that we're having. There's some discrepancy because there was a trace of snow on 5/4/2022, which would make it 943 days. A lot of us are drawing back to the end of January of 2022. This is the thing with stats. You can kind of just, I don't know. Hey, is it playing now? I hope so. Here's the video from Taylorsville, North Carolina, and Alexander County, where they've broken their snow drought. Snow falling from the sky, coating that grassy surface. It is coating that grassy surface. And as the camera turns, we can see the snowflakes gently falling with the Christmas lights in the background. Let's just loop that a few times because I've talked it up so much that I hope it's finally playing for you. And if it's not, I might cry. But this is from Chris Brown, outside Taylorsville, North Carolina. He is a storm spotter with the Central Alexander Fire Department. Michael telling me that it is in fact playing. I hope it was worth the wait, Michael. The video and the snow. Because I think this is what folks are hoping to see. So I, again, wish to congratulate the people of Alexander County for having luck on their side tonight. It is snowing there outside Taylorsville. If you're with me right now on this live stream, I assume this is the scene that you are hoping to see outside your window. And maybe this will give you some hope that it could happen. Only time will tell. We just got another picture in from Bethlehem. John Crow is there. And I'm going to get this on the screen for you. Now, this is a still picture, so I'm hoping the technology guides are on my side when I try to screen share this here with you now. This is John Crow's picture of a coating of snow on his back porch there in Bethlehem. Now, I wonder if this is an elevated deck. And I'm saying that because you know the signs on the highway that says like ice bridges before. Let me try that again. The signs on the highway that says that the bridge freezes before the road because you got the cold air under the road, kind of giving it 360 degrees of cold air. If this is a deck and it's elevated, you might have 360 degrees of cold air all around, which would help kind of. But that's in Bethlehem. And again, so these last two that I've showed you, the video and the photo, coming to us from the foothills of North Carolina, you know, you can see that both radar and MPing are confirming for us snow is certainly falling. So this is Taylorsville. This is where that video was from. Here's Bethlehem. These are both north of Hickory. We had the resort cam at the App State campus in Hickory showing us light snow falling. And we did just get a new MPing report from between Newton and Maiden. This is along US 321, if I've got my bearings right, of snow falling there. The southernmost MPing we've gotten real far is in Dallas, North Carolina, north of Gastonia. I don't know that I buy it. I don't know. I don't know. I love MPing because anyone can send them. And I'm sometimes skeptical because anyone can send them. That's just the name of the game, right? So. I'm going to go ahead and make a quick video clip here about that Taylorsville snow. For anybody that missed it and wants to find it later, we will be back on Wednesday night with a polished podcast. We are actually going to be talking with Clay Cheney from the National Weather Service in Greenville, Spartanburg. He is not only going to be talking to us about changes with their winter weather alerts this year. There are changes brought on by the National Weather Service's Simplification Hazard Program, where they are trying to make things a little bit easier to understand, a little bit more simple. So there are changes this year to like what was called a wind chill warning. It's just going to be a cold weather warning, cold air warning. It'll be on this week, and it's a perfect week because it's winter weather preparedness week. And so what a better week to talk about understanding winter weather alerts, especially since they are changing this year. We will also get new data from Clay of the National Weather Service, because the Greenville-Spartanburg office is the one who has been charged with so much of the data collection during and after Helene. And so they have new numbers. They're still trying to find like how much rainfall fell and how much the strongest winds, and so that's a process that typically takes time. So he'll actually also have new numbers for us as we continue our continuing coverage of the Helene recovery. Janice watching with us right now on YouTube. Thanks for staying up, Janice. I know it's midnight, hoping for a snow shower between 2 and 3 a.m. in Asheboro. Yeah, that sounds about like the correct time frame for the possible snowflakes there in Asheboro, especially since they're still kind of on the north side of Winston-Salem and haven't even made it into Greensboro yet. So I'd be curious to know, are you staying awake? Are you going to set an alarm and come back in 2 hours? I'm sitting back down because I did walk over towards the space heater because it's cold. It's cold. It's cold. All right, so let's look at radar. Okay. Wait a second. Hold the phone. One of you is claiming it's snowing in Greensboro. Do I believe you? I don't know. But let's see where our nearest... Oh boy, we got a weather stem camera there. We have a weather stem camera on the west side of Greensboro at the Guilford County Emergency Management Office. Thank you, Emergency Management. So, let's see. Let's get my face out of there. Get out of there. This is weather stem. Oh, I mentioned this earlier. It is always hard to tell. Okay, first of all, I don't know if any resolution is going to show this other than on my monitor here, actually in front of me. Not because it's a great monitor, but because I'm looking at the video feed before it gets regurgitated back out to you. I do see things falling from the sky every so often, kind of sporadically. I'll zoom in out so you have a bigger field of view. Because that street light there is kind of helping us. I have been tricked. I think we've all been tricked. Sometimes, if there's other things in the air, or there are bugs or whatever flying around, sometimes light plays a trick on us. I think that's snow. I think it's, oh, that's, okay, it's picking up now a little bit. I think that's snow. What do you guys think? Is that snow in Greensboro? I think that's snow in Greensboro. Which probably makes Denise happy because she said she's staying up until 3. Janice, she's staying up until 3. I think that could be snow in Greensboro. Thanks, Weather Stem. Camera located at the Guilford County Emergency Management. All right, Greensboro, pots and pans. Pots and pans, if you wanted to see snowflakes, now might be the time. Let's look at it on radar. Let's look at it on radar again. It's slow moving. We've talked about that. It's slow moving. You got time. Put those shoes on. Okay, so that camera is like here, and that MPing report is like here. So like that was pretty well paired. And if I draw another circle, then it's a snowman. You're welcome. We do now have a second snow report in Guilford County on the north side. Practically not in Guilford County. like halfway to Reidsville. And that is kind of where the heaviest snow is right now, according to radar. According to radar, the heaviest snow is on the north side of town. Let's put it into motion for you, okay? I'm putting it into motion, going back to 11:30. So this is the radar over the course of the last half an hour. So I'm gonna zoom it out a little bit more, okay? And I'm gonna slide it over. Because it's kind of almost going east. It's gonna come south a little bit, but they're kind of going east. So, Janice, you might want to watch like what's coming out of like Salisbury. See if that kind of intensifies a little bit. Now, I'll tell you, trying to watch snow on radar is difficult, especially in the Triad, because we've got a radar in Raleigh. This is the radar in Raleigh. The radar in Raleigh, really kind of like Seven Lakes and Carthage and Troy, like south of Asheboro, claims it's snowing. I don't have any imping reports there. So either it's not reaching the ground, or all the people in this area are asleep, or all these people in this area aren't too worried about filing imping reports. It's a toss-up. But we've got a radar in Raleigh. Okay. We've got a radar in Blacksburg, Virginia, which is essentially Roanoke, and we've got a radar in Greenville, Spartanburg, South Carolina. Those are the three that are kind of applicable to what we're trying to do right now. We do have a small radar in Charlotte. It's cute, but it doesn't tell us the difference between snow and rain, so I can kind of see where the precipitation's at. And again, the other thing, if you're just joining us with radar, is radar shoots a beam out, and so it's measuring the weather thousands of feet above our head. So like when the radar is blue and showing us snow, it has this radar indicating that it's snowing thousands of feet above our head. It's those snowflakes on the screen of actual human beings on the ground telling us when they are seeing snow. So, all right. Oh, we got some more in Winston-Salem, like in Winston-Salem. Okay, so bear with me. Let us try to find a really good camera in Winston-Salem, because I know they exist. And I'm going to go to, let's see, we got a couple at Wake Forest University. Rather at night, we're gonna pick up snowflakes. Is shot in the dark. Pun intended, you're welcome. The dad jokes just get stronger as the night goes on, just so we're clear. Just want to set that expectation for any of you that are new to the Carolina Weather Group. All right, Weather STEM at Wake Forest University. I think that's snow. Look at the lights coming off of the scoreboard. Thanks for leaving the lights on, guys. I think that's snowfall. I'd be curious to see, like, we can see obviously a little bit of the field, and I've never been to the stadium. I assume it's like a grassy surface in front of the scoreboard, between the end zone and the scoreboard. Maybe there's going to be a little accumulation there. We'll find out. But yeah, I think that's snow. I think that's snow live. Wake Forest University. So cross that one off the bingo board, guys. By the way, it is meteorological winter. Started 3 days ago. I know, it's still technically fall, but just to keep records easier, December, January, and February are meteorological winter. Yes. Yes, they are. When we started this stream, nearly an hour ago, we were focusing on Hickory, North Carolina, because it was one of the first locations where snow was prevalent, and we had a camera. So let's check back in with that camera and show you that it hasn't really stuck to the ground there. This is the App State campus in Hickory. I'm gonna go to the space heater. Here, take a look at that full. There's a street light there in the parking lot where we were seeing some flakes fall. I mean, guys, I gotta tell you, man, we are just chasing flakes. I mean, we are a far cry from any sort of snowstorm This is just snowflakes. I think Brad Panovich, our friend Brad Panovich, took to Twitter earlier. I'm glad I walked over to the space heater because I had set a 1-hour timer. And it turned off just as I got over here. So pick that back on. I always like to set the timer just in case I forget it's on. And then we'll turn itself off. All right, Michael on YouTube. My friend just sent me a snap of snow falling and accumulating on the west side of Statesville. The west side of Statesville. Thank you, Michael, for that report. And also, thanks for hanging out with us and conversing. I know it's late. So let's take a look at radar, because I think that is, in fact, what some folks, like your friend, are starting to see. I'm going to use Greenville-Spartanburg's radar for that. So here's Statesville. We're in Iredell County. We're just north of Charlotte on I-77. We've got 2 M-ping reports. For all I know, Michael, one of them is your friend, of snow falling there. This is, I would say, probably mostly north and west of Statesville, Stony Point, Taba, but we'll see. We will certainly see. Again, if you're just joining us and you're looking at this like, oh, it's blue over Mint Hill in Mecklenburg, it's not snowing. I'm pretty sure it's not snowing in Mecklenburg. I can go look. I can go look at my window right now. But I don't think it's snowing here yet. Seems silly for me not to go look, right? Like, if it was snowing and I was just sitting inside the whole time, that would be sad. But I can almost guarantee you it's not snowing. So there are lots of weather conditions that have to come together in order for precipitation to reach the ground to snow. And they're just kind of hard to achieve sometimes. But hey, some places we're achieving it. Wake Forest University, Greensboro, Alexander County, Michael's friend outside of Statesville. We are, in fact, achieving snowflakes in places where we have not achieved snowflakes in quite some time. And that, my friends, is a victory. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that if you're watching this, you're pro snow. Some people are not pro snow, and that's fine. And you're welcome to be here. But I just assume that if you are here, you're excited to see some snow. So I'm going to, in a moment, step outside and just look at the world. And we do have a camera here at CWGHQ, because what type of weather show would we be if we didn't have a camera? And this is on my roof. It's not funny. But I will walk towards the door and leave you with the picture of kind of, theoretically what it is I will be looking at. You can probably hear my air conditioner running, my heater. It's not snowing for 2 reasons. One, the weather gods hate me. And 2, it's technically 34 degrees outside. It's 34 degrees right next to this camera. On my roof. Camera, tempest. It's 34 degrees. So it could be closer to 3 a.m. before we get snow here, and I'm not that crazy. But I am pulling up my, I'm not completely crazy. So this is interesting, because I could have sworn I said it was colder in this live stream earlier, and it has. The temperatures kind of come up a little bit at my house. It was 31 degrees at 9 o'clock. It's 34 right now. Yeah. You guys want to see video of snow falling again? Because that Chris Brown video is still my favorite. And Michael confirms that he's here because he absolutely loves snow, as I think one should if you're hanging out with us here tonight. So, Michael, here it is again. Snow falling in Taylorsville, North Carolina. Chris Brown shared this video. That's good stuff, guys. I know a lot of you are hoping to see more, but if we get nothing else out of this live stream tonight, that's what we're here for, right? Like, that's kind of what we signed up for, or something like that. So I'm glad he took that video and shared it. Because that's pretty good stuff. We've now rolled from Cyber Monday into Giving Tuesday. And it seems like a good time to pose the question of whether or not we should put any of our merch on sale. Haven't yet. I don't know why. I don't know what I was waiting for. But I think last year we offered 10% off our hats and like our tumblers and our mugs and things. So if you're looking for a way to like support the show and buy the Carolina Whittaker fan in your life gift for the holidays, that fan could be yourself. I could go log in right now and like make a 10% off discount code. That's the thing we want. I got the power. I can do it. We also have a very limited number of calendars, like not full wall calendars, but these are like tabletop calendars you'd put on your desk that just kind of show you the days and then has these pictures all across the Carolinas. We ordered a handful of them for like clients and partners. I'm going to post the link on social sometime this week before Wednesday night when we do our show. If you're interested in buying one, we'll sell some of our extras. That's not the QR code currently on the screen. That'll just be we'll invoice you if you want a calendar. But hats and mugs and things, there you go. Helps support the show. None of us here at the show make money from the show. The show just pays for itself thanks to viewer support from you guys buying merch and watching YouTube ads or subscribing on Patreon. So we appreciate it. We're back Wednesday night with a whole new show. If for some reason you're just finding us for the first time, go check out our 500th episode in November. 500 episodes of our weekly weather show. We lit a house on fire. It was cool. All right, back to snow. So, we're getting more reports in the Greensboro area, guys. We've got 4 now in Guilford County. And this is like up by the Science Center, right? Or the Kids Museum? No, the Science Center. Yeah. Cool. Let's see what we've got. Got 2 cameras from WeatherStem in Greensboro, if I'm not mistaken. So we've got this camera that I'm about to show you on your screen right now from UNC Greensboro. Okay, that won't be bad if and when we get snow there. I'm beginning to feel like it's when, not an if. Sounds good to me, James. But then we do also have that camera we showed you earlier at the Guilford County Emergency Management. And I'm happy to report, oh yeah, guys, I am happy to report it is snowing in Guilford County. This is it live from WeatherStem, Guilford County Emergency Management Office, which is like southwest-ish of downtown Greensboro. It's coming down at a pretty good clip there. All things considered, again, we're gunning for a coating. Like upper end a coating. And that is, sure enough, the snow is coming down one Tuesday morning. And you can see it here live. And I'm glad you can. I'm glad you're here watching with us. Otherwise, I'd just be a very cold James talking to himself in the garage. I'm just kind of enjoying this moment. So, putting Michael's message back on the screen. Absolutely loving the snow. I agree. I agree. I am hoping for I'm hoping for like a good snow this year. Like one that we haven't had since 2022 or like even before that. Hang on. I'm walking away. And I'm not going to the space heater. I'm going to something better than the space heater. Let's see if I can get it out. Let's see here. Oh, how many things are you wedged underneath? Okay, here we go, guys. I want to show you something that has just been biding its time. Okay? This is the type of sled you really want, okay? Not those like big plastic toboggan things, okay? This is like a boogie board. This is foam with a plastic bottom. Take this from a guy who grew up in New York, okay? Because it's lighter. It doesn't push as far into the snow, so you can kind of glide along it. Now, it's not as durable as the plastic ones because like you can bend it, you can see it has some creases in it. We used this guy no more than 3 times in that miraculous January of 2022. It does get kind of scraped up. I think it costs a little bit more than the big plastic toboggan ones, but I do highly recommend it. It's dusty because snow drought. You're welcome. The more you know. Okay. Zach, help please. How may we help, Zach? I'll need to know a little bit more than that. And I hope it's about snow, because that's kind of the extent of my ability to help. Zach, I presume, is typing. It's snowing. It is snowing. Thanks to WeatherStem for these live pictures from Greensboro. It's coming down at a pretty good clip. I wonder what the winds are there at the Guilford County Emergency Management in Guilford. I'll tell you in a second. Because not only is there a camera there, but there's a weather station powered by, you guessed it, WeatherStem. 30 degrees. It changed on my screen live. And winds right now, northwest at 4 miles an hour, gusting up to 80 miles an hour. Okay. So that's, that's giving it a little bit of a something to pull it along. Can you guys see that better now? You can probably see that better now, right? Get my face out of the way. Like, who needs my face? Nobody. All right, we're coming up to 12:30. It's 12:23. I'm just a guy who's got a job in the daylight tomorrow, like so many of you. So won't necessarily be sitting here all night long because that'd be crazy. But we'll hang out a few more minutes. Let's go and check to see if you guys have sent us anything on the good old Twitter. And by Twitter, I of course mean X. We can also be reached on Instagram. And we'd love to see if you guys are seeing anything. Now, I think there's probably not a whole lot going on right now in terms of what you're seeing is what you're seeing. But it's snowing outside of Greensboro. And Zach still hasn't told us what he needs help with. Like, is it math homework? Hard to say. Let's go to radar. Let's see where the snow is at now. That's how this game works. Where's the snow? I think this is new. Clemens? Clemens, are you new? Were you there before, Clemens? I don't think you were. And I think we have more in Greensboro. Like, I think this guy right here might be fighting for furthest east snow report. I see you. I see you. Now, further south snow report is still that questionable one in Dallas. Yeah, I'm still calling it questionable. But Michael's been watching with us on YouTube. He's got a friend outside of Statesville in Iredale. And now we've got a snow report from Enping on the east side of I-77, just south of I-40 there. So that's cool. We did have more Enpings. They were all up in here at the start of our stream. They fell off. That's kind of what happens. I'm going to switch to the Raleigh radar for a minute because it was trying to show some snow over central North Carolina, but I'm not seeing a lot of Enping reports there. So either the snow's not reaching the ground or there's no one there who wants to tell us about it. Your guess is as good as mine, but there's lots of you watching in Greensboro who want to tell us about it, and that's cool. I think that's cool. And switching radar again, it's just not happening here in Mecklenburg or Union County right now. Could it happen later? Could it happen later? Yeah, maybe. Will I be awake? Will you be awake? I don't know. But let me show you Futurecast. So we're going to go from live radar to the computer model on what we think could happen during the overnight hours, while many of us are asleep. Let me confirm we are in fact in the latest run of the HRR, and you can see a couple of these little bands moving through central and even into eastern North Carolina. Maybe. Never really reaches South Carolina, sorry guys. Yeah, it, of course, it's kind of up in the western North Carolina mountains because snow's easier there. Here is the official forecast from our friends at the National Weather Service in Greenville, Spartanburg. Less than 0.1 of an inch, less than a tenth of an inch. Actually, that says less than an inch, but either way, it's less than a tenth of an inch, because I mean, at best, guys, we're talking about a coating of snow here. So if you are, in fact, like me, going to turn in here at about 12:30, again, it's going to be about a coating at most in some places. Let's go back to Greensboro. Snow in Greensboro. I know we don't like to see my face, but is that actually easier to see? Video from Greensboro's wider, that's for sure, if I do it that way. It's 30 degrees, gusting up to 6 miles an hour there in Greensboro. And I'm going to peruse the cameras one more time. I'm doing one more peruse. Matter of fact, we did see snow at one point on the camera Wake Forest University. I would say I don't see it anymore. Doesn't mean it's not there. Just means I don't see it anymore. Let's see. I don't have any Statesville cameras. That is like a bane of my existence. I gotta tell you, really wish I did have a Statesville camera, because more often than not, it's a blind spot for me. Michael, talk to your friend. See if they'll put a webcam on. And the snow has stopped in Hickory. So instead of leaving you with this kind of dark Wake Forest camera, I'm going to leave you with this live picture from Greensboro, because it's snowing there. Yes, it is. It is snowing in Greensboro. I don't know if you can see me doing a little dance, but I am, because I don't know that I believed it was going to happen, but it's happening. It's snowing, and we'll find out in the morning. If you wake up in the middle of the night or you wake up in the morning, shoot us a message. Let us know what you saw. We'd love to know. And we hope you'll be back on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for our weekly weather podcast, discussing weather science, technology, and more from the Carolinas and beyond. This is my favorite video of the night. Thanks, Chris Brown, of the Central Alexander Fire Department, for sending us what you saw in Taylorsville, North Carolina, because that is very peaceful. Thanks for joining. Thanks for hanging out. I'm James Brierton in Charlotte. Talk to you again soon. Be sure to like and subscribe and, all those things.